You're making grilled cheese tonight. The store with the really, really good cheese closes at 7. If it's 12.1 miles away and work ends at 5:45 but rush hour picks up around 6:15, when's the latest you can leave for cheese? Don't know? Not to worry. Waze knows. Take a look at the traffic forecast and plan your drive ahead of time. Waze. Download and drive today.
Looking for your next great hire? CareerBuilder is the fastest growing job site in the U.S. with over 140 million candidate profiles and growing. Plus, candidates on CareerBuilder have skills for the most in-demand occupations. Let us help you rebuild and rehire a strong, more diverse workforce fast. CareerBuilder, we're building for you. Visit hiring.careerbuilder.com/recruit.
What's going on? You are tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast this lovely morning. Today, I want to talk about why you should never hold people accountable. Maybe a quick podcast today. Accountability is a word I hear people use a lot. But I used to use it my damn self. When it comes to accountability, I believe in holding myself accountable. But I don't hold human beings accountable anymore. Reason being is that that's too much pressure for a person. Holding people accountable is really asking for a lot. I'll tell you why. The reason why that's a lot is because we as human beings are subject to fail at any time. You know what I'm saying? We are subject to fail at any moment, any time. So when you start holding people accountable, and when people start letting you down, then you're disappointed. And you should never give a person that much power over you. But again, this is my opinion. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. You should never give people that much power. A lot of times, we watch what's going on in the world around us, and people are like, man, he let me down. Women say, he let me down. He told me he was going to be there for me. He told me he was going to be there for my kids, but when it was all said and done, he wasn't nowhere to be found. Well, should have never held them accountable. And vice versa. You shouldn't hold her accountable either. Only person in this world you should hold accountable, in my opinion, is yourself. Hence the word accountability. I just don't believe, you should hold people accountable. I just don't believe that. I think people are subject to failure. Some people will say, "Oh, you're making an excuse." I'm not making an excuse. I'm just telling you what it is. I do not hold people accountable. I deal with people where they are. And then some people will say, "Well, what do you do? Do you lower the stakes for people?" No, I don't lower the stakes for people. I just deal with people where they are. My whole thing is if a person says they're going to do something, they're either going to do it or they're not. And if they don't do it, I'm not disappointed because I just put no stock in them. You got to remember that, people. And of course, what works for me may not necessarily work for you. You may be the kind of person that needs to hold people accountable. I don't. I'm the kind of person, I deal with people where they are. I accept people for who they are. I understand that people are human beings. They are subject to failure. Whether you agree with that or not, that's your business. For instance, one of the things we talked about yesterday, on the podcast was, does black male privilege exist? And we went into a array of topics. And on the part 2, my friend, she spoke about self-accountability and accountability and basically, basically people know what they need to do. And I have to agree with her 100%. I have to agree with her 100%. And I had to do a podcast about this because it was something that just kind of ran across my mind, and like I always tell people, podcasting is so fun because it's so unorthodox. I don't have to necessarily plan it out. I mean, you can, but sometimes it just doesn't work like that. Sometimes it's okay to not be okay. Sometimes it's okay to not know what's going on. Does that mean you don't prepare? No, there's nothing wrong with preparing. But as we know and as we see with what's going on around us with COVID-19, things can always change. You have to be flexible in life. Going back to accountability, you have to learn to understand that people are going to be who they are. People are going to do what they're going to do regardless whether you believe me or not. People do what they want to do. And that's one thing I learned a long time ago. Now, something I learned in life, man, is that people people that preach about accountability, holding people to a standard, those are the most unaccountable people on planet Earth. Have you noticed that? People that expect integrity from others usually have no integrity themselves. Usually. Just had my device in the heat. I knew better than that. I cut the truck off. I knew I shouldn't have done this. Telling me my phone is too hot. Let it cool off for a minute. Anyway, have you noticed that though? People that always talk about the standard and holding people to a higher standard and all that. Those very people usually are not held to that very standard. That's something I've noticed in my life, man. There's certain things I've learned to pick up on when it comes to people, man. Like I always say, people are some strange creatures, man. And when it comes to human beings, man, you got to understand that we all have flaws. We just do. There's no getting around that. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's error-free. I don't even strive for perfection. I gave that up a long time ago. I just strive to be the best me I can be today. That's it. I learn to deal with what's in front of me. Some people don't take that approach. Some people feel like that's a carefree life, but it's not. It's just some things are outside your control. You just need to learn to control what you can control. Before you can help others, you must first help yourself. That's something I live by. And that's something I learned to cope with in life, man. I learned that too much preparation is not always good. It kind of reminds me of the Y2K boom. Y2K happened and people were storing up food and batteries and all that, and the shit never even cracked off like that. That tripped me out, man. I remember that, man. I remember that like it was yesterday. I had to be at least like 13 or 14 back then, of course. So people were prepping, since 99, 98, were prepping, putting food back putting canned goods back, things of that nature, and the shit never even popped off like that. I think sometimes, man, we as people, we just freak out too much, man. That's a bad habit too, you know. And I know women like security. Women want to know that things are going to be okay. Or at least that they have a good hold on things. Women want to know that. Women want to be okay with knowing that, hey, the bills are going to get paid. Food's going to be in the house. Kids are going to be well taken care of. But as a man, I understand reality, and that is sometimes it just doesn't work like that. And some things are just it's just nature. That's just how it is. You know, if you notice, even in the animal kingdom, how overly protective, you know, the mother is over her cubs. That mother will feed those cubs before she feeds herself. It's just how it is, people. And again, that's something I understand. But anyway, this is going to be a short podcast today. I want everybody to continue to listen to the podcast, give it a 5-star rating, share, and I'm out.
Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news, you don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today.
Buying a used truck can be full of unknowns. But at Penske, we know trucks. Our expert sales team can help you find the right used vehicle to meet your business needs. Plus, at Penske, buying is easy with financing, insurance, and warranty programs available. Leave the unknowns behind and buy with confidence. View Penske's entire inventory, current deals, manager specials, and used truck center locations at PenskeUsedTrucks.com.